This video is not meant for anyone under the age of 18. Viewer discretion is advised. Alright guys, what's up? BlueTheRobot here. I got some pretty interesting news for you guys today regarding World War III and the AMA that just happened about 2 hours ago. Yeah, it was. I'm gonna be speaking without a script this time, kind of speaking my own thoughts and what the heck happened during this AMA. It was kind of a shit show, not gonna lie, but I totally understand. I really thought it was gonna be them going live on Discord, not just typing, which really it was not the right way to do it, in my opinion. I really think they should have probably gone live on Twitch or gone live via video on Discord. So, but of course, things don't go according to plan, but they did answer some questions, not all the important ones, and I have a feeling why, but they also answered a good amount of questions, including one of the community managers, CM Half in the Discord answered some questions in the other channel, the AMA questions. So I'm gonna be doing a quick live kind of reading of everything that just happened, and let's go ahead and get started. So first, of course, Camille and Alexi came on and introduced themselves, told them what their position was in the company, and so on and so forth. And then of course they went straight to answering questions. So the questions were posted down below, and the CMs were telling everyone how to answer questions or ask them and stuff like that. So this is what happened. Instantly, just a shit show of just people answering or asking multiple questions. That is just not the right way to do it at all. Just no. And of course, everyone's just trying to ask the same question over and over again. When is 0.9 going to be coming out? Are you going to fix the servers? How long is the full release going to be come out? Is it going to come out on consoles? So on and so forth. And it was just a lot of the same questions over and over again. People don't listen or don't reread the questions that were asked. So of course it was just, yeah. And as we scroll down, you can see 0.9, 0.9, 0.9, asking about the movement update. I did ask a question though. I asked for any chance for partnerships or partner programs, and the community manager, Half, shout out to you. You were trying to help out as much as you can, including Big Fry came in and asked some questions, or asked a question. And then of course you see right here the answer to my question, will there be partnerships or partner programs with content creators? And of course Half said there will be partner programs with content creators. Yeah, my words have less impact than Camille or Alexi, but you can expect it for sure. Trust me, your words do not have less of an impact. I'm glad you were asking or answering questions in the actual questions channel. So it definitely helped out with the two people that were only answering all these questions. It was just too much. I know a lot. It was kind of overwhelming for everyone. So it was definitely a shit show, in my opinion. That's just my opinion, so you don't have to go along with it. And of course, people were just, I have to repeat this, were literally repeating the same questions over and over again. Other than that, let's go ahead and we'll sit through the main questions that were answered by the two, and we'll go ahead and answer some of your questions, hopefully within this video. So this video might be a little bit longer, but here we go. 2Farm51, do you still plan to replace Microsoft servers with Linux servers? Yes, we are considering Linux servers as sole alternative for Windows servers. That's a pretty interesting thing going on there. 2Farm51, when do you plan to release the 0.9 update? And a lot of people have been hating on them for doing this. Basically, they said they're going to release it when they're ready. I mean, I guess that is a good... I mean, that's not the answer people wanted to hear, but it's the answer that we got for the question. They're gonna be ready when they're ready, and to be honest, I'd rather have them be ready when they're ready than put out a date and then disappoint people when that date comes. 2Farm51, what are your expectations regarding to the Chinese market release? Do you think My.Games can help with it? Definitely, Asian market is very important for us and for our strategy. And I'm pretty sure that My.Games as a global publisher will help us to manage World War III on Asian regions. Sorry, their English is kind of broken sometimes, so I have to fill in some words every now and then. To Farm 51, do you believe that the key weaknesses of the game, and I mean optimization and servers, can be finally repaired to satisfy players? In my opinion, together with My.Games, and this is Camille answering, the project leading creative director of World War III. In my opinion, together with My.Games, we have a much better starting point to polishing and improving the World War III game and launch a successful final release. So pretty much all the QA testing and stuff like that, it did happen, but now with My.Games coming in, they're kind of starting on a fresh slate with releasing the game. So this is what's going on at the moment. Of course, we have what happened to communication over the last 3 months. We were working pretty hard on the project and talking about cooperation details with My.Games. So they probably didn't want to say anything to accidentally release information or so on and so forth. So they just stuck with being silent for 3 months, which did kind of suck for the rest of us. And we were definitely sitting here freaking twiddling our thumbs wondering, can you do something? Like poking the stick at the dead body of World War III, like do something, you know, like that one meme. So that's kind of answering the question of why they went dark for those 3 months. Now this is for My.Games. So when you see Kurtzman calling, that is Alexi. This is the My.Games, if I scroll up, the senior producer. So why did you choose World War III for a game to support if you are a producer of Warface, a similar FPS shooter game? Isn't World War III a competitor for your own title? First, let me answer this question. No, it's not a competitor. It's just another title in the tactical FPS genre, but these two games are vastly different. Yes, you point a gun and you shoot at people, but Warface has its own shooting mechanics, its own gameplay, its own storyline. So World War III is definitely more of a hardcore shooter than I would say than Warface is. Warface is more of like those fast-paced arcade shooters, but it definitely has its own perks. So what he said is, we feel that World War III is already a great game and we want to work on it together with Farm 51 to make it even better, as well as to attract new players to it. As for the Warface title, we are sure that both games provide unique gameplay experiences and won't interfere much with each other. Exactly what I just said. This was an interesting question that I didn't think they were going to answer, but it says, on what type of consoles do you plan to release the game and when? What is the role of My.Game in the porting process? We are very excited for the new generation of consoles as well as the possibilities of a console release in general, but we first want to focus on delivering the best possible experience to PC players. Currently, we don't have any announcements to share regarding bringing World War III to other platforms. So if you guys don't know, by the way, Warface is not just a PC game, it's also a console game. I remember playing it back on the 360 when it first came out. So I could see World War III possibly going to console later in the future, especially with the new gen consoles coming out, but I don't see it happening for this gen console or anytime soon. All right, and then goes back to Camille asking or answering a question. Will My.Games going to help you? Oh God, hold on. Will My.Games going to help you in other ways than resources and expertise? What role will My.Games have in development? Will they contribute staff, funds, or leave it entirely up to F51, so Farm 51? Will this deal help accelerate the development of new content like maps and weapons? Does the partnership have any personal consequences on Farm 51's side, i.e. have Farm 51 employees replaced by My.Games guys? So that was multiple questions in one, so we're gonna go ahead and break this down, at least what Camille did. A lot of questions in general. My.Games will help us in any aspect of World War III to make this game more bigger and better. That's why we choose My.Games as the strategic long-term partner for World War III. New content like maps, weapons will come for sure. By the way, thanks for the questions, folks. This is what he said, because I told you it was a little bit overwhelming. I'm even overwhelmed reading all these questions. By the way, thanks for the questions, folks. Feels a little overwhelming, so please give us the time to write an answer. And then it goes, oh, I guess he didn't really break it down. So I mean, yeah, that was just kind of the same thing over and over again. Like I guess My.Games is definitely going to help with the development, but the creative control is within Farm 51's hands. So guys, don't think that My.Games is going to come in and change the game and make it more like Warface or anything like that. No, they're just going to help, promote it with the development, the testing, the branding, the marketing, stuff like that, because they have, I would say, more experience in that field than Farm 51. It's kind of tough being a developer and a publisher and a marketing team all in one small team, so they definitely needed the help for sure. Will the game become regional? Russian players only play with Russians, Chinese with Chinese, Europeans with Europeans, etc. At this moment, we don't have any plans to have a different region separation comparing to today's World War III servers, and I do agree with that. I don't think they should separate the regions playing, but what they should incorporate is what I liked, because I've been playing a lot of Battlefield lately, is the ping separation. So if your ping is averaging at such a high ping rate, you're probably going to get kicked from the server. So it will discourage other people from different regions. Like if, Asian goes to NA East or something like that, it's going to be really tough for them to play, and they might even get kicked from the server. And then another question, will you release past videos, photos, etc. of development from early on before the early access release? Some fun stuff, some serious stuff, why not both? And then he goes, sure, why not? I think that's kind of funny. I think that's kind of a fun question there. How many new maps are on your team, or are your team currently working on? You'll be surprised, we hope. So they do answer a lot of questions as these two. So like the next one says, will you implement and complete an easy to follow tutorial? Yes, we have such plans. So it's kind of like, hope you're excited. Get ready to see the stuff that we're working on. But there's no like concrete answers, and I could see how that would piss people off with this whole AMA, and the fact that we're not getting actual genuine answers. We're just kind of getting the runaround, if it feels like. So we'll see. Why will the game be on hold for purchase exactly when we lose an opportunity? When we lose opportunity to buy a game? That was kind of weird to ask, at least to read. Players who have already purchased World War III in early access will be able to play indefinitely. So if you have purchased World War III on Steam, it's still in early access, you're basically going to keep the game. However, the game will no longer be available for purchase on Steam until further notice. We will certainly reveal full details about that later. So guys, at the moment, World War III is no longer available to buy on Steam, but the people that have the game at the moment will continue to play it. I don't know what this means exactly. Of course they're gonna say they're gonna reveal the full details about that later. Who knows when later is, and it's probably gonna upset a lot of people, because I always get people in my comments saying, hey, should I buy this game now? And I usually say no. I'm usually the one to say, hey, I love this game, but I definitely think you should wait until it becomes a full release. And well, now you guys are gonna have to wait until it becomes a full release, hopefully. And then it goes into the next question. My.Games do free-to-play projects. Will World War III become a free-to-play with microtransactions? Who will observe the microtransactions? Do the decisions remaining? Oh god, this is so tough to read. Sorry guys. Do the decisions remain with the Farm 51 team? Or will the publisher dictate pricing? Will prices be regional? So of course he's talking about, will the game go free-to-play, and do different regions will have to pay, different price points, which of course that's probably going to be the way it is, because it's different countries, different currencies and stuff. And then this is Alexi. He answers, the details of the distribution model will be revealed later in 2020, so this year, guys. However, it's important to mention that the Farm 51 team will have full control over the development process, and a division for World War III. Additionally, in any case, we are not going to introduce pay-to-win elements to the game, and we are adamant in this decision already. So guys, if you guys are worried about pay-to-win and them buying weapons and attachments and stuff like that, it's not going to happen. It's never going to happen. You can forget it. It's probably just going to be cosmetics, which I said in my past video. Will there be any patches, big and small, before release? Can we update the game and play? How long is it going to stay in the EA version? Which is the early access version. Game will be available on Steam, but not be available for purchase until final release. So the game's going to be listed on Steam, but you're not going to be able to buy it. We have some plans to share and test new environments or test new improvements with players before the 1.0 release, but for sure we don't want to show unfinished or untested updates, which I totally agree with. So basically the people that have the game already are basically are testers now for the game. Is there a team at My.Games, and this is Camille answering this, is there a team at My.Games now working on helping the development of World War III? If yes, is there a specific area which they are working on? Yes, we are working pretty close together on many key areas. We will share more details about our cooperation when we will be ready to do that. We're just starting. So, of course, I figured this was going to happen. My.Games is gonna send some guys over, or can't really send them over because of the whole Corona stuff. So they're probably just gonna sitting in an office and basically testing each other, or My.Games is helping test out parts of World War III and giving their feedback and stuff like that, because they probably have more experienced guys and stuff like that, and it's gonna be really good for them because it's gonna get a lot more testing done faster, I would expect. What does My.Games see for the future of World War III? Of course, this is Alexi talking. We think that as soon as the game is complete, it has full potential to be a hit on the tactical FPS market and even the FPS market in general. That is some big words, by the way, Alexi. I really hope you could back that up. As a publisher, we will apply our resource and offer all the help to Farm 51 to make this happen. This right here, guys, this is coming from My.Games. This I have to say, this is kind of some big hype with this one sentence. And then Camille goes on saying, what part of development was so far the hardest one? Again, with obvious ones, i.e. the release disaster for 0.3. If you guys don't know what he's talking about, when the game first released, it was literally unplayable. Your GPU would shoot it to 100%, your CPU would shoot it to 100%. The game would sit in the menu and it wouldn't even go to the main menu. And even if you did get to the main menu, you go into the server and it was just unplayable. So that was the whole release disaster. Then he answers, creating a multiplayer FPS game is a constant challenge every day. This is a nice story for another long conversation in the future after the successful final release. So that's what he said. Then Alexi says, answers, will there be any DLCs? We are certainly planning to release a post-launch development roadmap as well as production plan later this year. So, could we expect a 2020 release, full release? To be honest, I don't think so. I expect it to come out maybe early next year, 2021. If they do come out this year, I'm gonna be, 1, happy, but 2, kind of worried, and then 3, they should wait. In general, I think they should wait until they get everything set. I know, again, this is also regarding to the whole coronavirus going on and people staying at home. It's a little bit harder to work from home sometimes, depending on your internet and stuff. So because these people are getting gigabytes and gigabytes of data and stuff to work on, and who knows where they are, so we'll see what happens in the future. And Camille answers, when can we expect new tease content like animations to turn up? Of course, everyone's asking about the animation update. So when he said when new stuff will be ready to release on the live update, thanks to our cooperation with My.Games, we will have access to the professional QA team, which we hope will help us a lot on the bug fixing stage. Again, when I said they have people coming from My.Games testing out a lot more, so definitely it's going to be easier on the Farm 51 team, and it's going to be easier to test out a lot of the next patch updates and stuff like that before they even release. This one was kind of funny actually. When Alexi answered this question, how many years will your Farm 51 and My.Games cooperation last? You don't usually put an expiration date on things like that. In this regard, it's like a marriage. But seriously, we trust this is going to be a long and fruitful cooperation, which I'm pretty sure we all hope it is, man, because My.Games, Warface is come a long way, and if you could do something like that for World War III, I think it's gonna be in a really good spot within the next few years. And the Camille answers, what would be the wait for the single player experience versus multiplayer? Right now, we are focusing on multiplayer, but who knows? This is interesting, guys. Maybe in the future we will release some pure hard tactical single player campaign. But right now we are focusing on multiplayer. Guys, I don't know about you, but I am a sucker for a good single player campaign. Regardless of the year, I've grown up mainly with single player games, so if they could put a really good campaign together. And if you guys don't know, Farm 51 also came out with another game called Chernobyl Light, which I haven't really looked into or played because it's just not my type of game. But they have made single player story driven games, so we'll see. Even back in the day, I think they made a game called Deadfall, which was also I think early gen, like Xbox 360, PS3 days. So they definitely have the experience with making single player campaigns. All right, and then Alexi answers, if people bought your game via Steam in an early access phase for $99, don't know what that means, what will they get when the game goes free to play, and will it be worth the previous price? So this is what, him asking the question, or someone asking Alexi the question, what happens if the game goes free to play? What happens to the people that like us who have paid for the game? And he answers, you'll definitely keep access to the game, and you'll receive a rich amount of games content regardless of our distribution solution that is still to be announced later this year. So I figured what that means is that if you already paid for the game and it goes free to play, people who pay for the game are probably going to get a lot of in-game stuff that people who get it for free probably won't be able to get. And then another question, how did the team and people over at My.Games handle the significant backlash, anger, comments, and concerns they got from the community on the forums and Discord? So pretty much every day. Like, they get a lot of shit every day from so many people, including myself sometimes, to be honest. And the answer is, I'm pretty sure that the My.Games is a perfect partner for the World War 3 project. Before we signed the deal, I had a lot of discussions with them. They really understand World War 3 as a game and player expectations as well. We have a solid plan how to improve World War 3 together. Don't worry. And then Alexi answers, can we expect some regular information communication again, or will the development go on in the dark? So hopefully we don't get just so hopefully in the future we don't just get, freaking shut down in the dark with, next few months. So he says, we will certainly keep you informed of our progress. We're going to release the World War 3 development roadmap and production plans later this year. So regarding the past roadmap, is that just going to be gone, or is that just going to be updated? Is the roadmap going to be on My.Games now? So we'll see. That's the thing. We'll see. Nobody knows, everyone they keep saying, later this year, or just don't worry, or you'll see. And it's like, can I get a solid answer? Like, come on. And then Camille answers, will there be more diversity for character customization? I know a lot of that's happening nowadays, especially with the whole Battlefield franchise. So he answered, I think today we have a lot of options for character customization compared to other FPS games. But yes, more operators and outfits will come in the future. If you have any suggestions, just send us an email what you want. So if you guys have any suggestions for different operators, different, ethnicities or stuff like that, just send them an email and we'll see what happens, And then this is also probably regarding the free-to-play. What will veteran World War 3 players receive during the final release? In case it goes free-to-play, that's what I'm thinking. Our early access players will be recognized as veterans, which is kind of cool, and you will receive special gifts when the game launches. Any purchases of in-game content made during the early access period will be transferred or refunded as in-game currency as appropriate. So I don't know what that means exactly. I don't think anybody else, at least not that I know of, bought any other in-game purchases during the early access period. I don't think there any was, and if there was, correct me, but I just bought the game and that was it. So we'll see. And then we got 3 more questions. How will World War 3 protect against cheaters? Nowadays every FPS has tons of cheaters. This is actually a really important question to answer, and I'm not happy with the answer that we got. Yes, you're right, it's an important issue to handle. However, both My.Games and FAR 51 have experience in managing FPS games and dealing with this problem accordingly, and that's exactly what we intend to do. As far as how exactly it goes, we will reveal the details as soon as they are set, prepared, and finalized. So right there, that means they don't have a plan. Guys, you don't just say, oh, when we set them. No, you should already have a plan. That should be one of your first things, guys, especially if you go free to play. I know a lot of people are worried about that. My buddy Tactic Gamer went and commented on my last video. He's also a really good YouTuber. You should definitely check him out. He talks about War 3 again as well. We were talking about, if this thing goes free to play, cheaters are going to be a thing. Hackers are going to be a thing. And I really hope War 3 and My.Games comes up with a really solid plan soon. Like, this worries me right here, not gonna lie. And then Camille answers another question here. Is there a rework plan for some maps like Berlin, which is quite a weak map visually? I kind of like the look of Berlin, to be honest, but that's just my opinion. But I get compared to Smolensk or Polarin, that's such a hard word to say for some reason. But Smolensk is actually a really good looking map, and I get what he means. And he answers, we are improving old maps in terms of gameplay and visual parts. You will be surprised. Again, with the whole you will be surprised. It just, come on. Another question, Smirnov or Warboria, I'm guessing, talking about alcohol and stuff. Many thanks. And then and I guess pretty much they, close it out from here. Many thanks for today, the AMA to everyone. We are just beginning. Goodbye and see you next time. And then, of course, Alexi comes in at the end. Can we expect answers to unanswered questions after this AMA? We are going to be posting a summary over today's AMA this week, and we will try our best to add some more info there. However, you see some things are still in production or under discussion, and we will be sharing them as soon as we can. Thank you guys for being here with us this evening and this, well, for me in like afternoon, and your active participation. We're just warming up. See you on the next one. So guys, as you could tell, it was a kind of crazy AMA. Everyone was talking at the same time. Everyone was asking many questions at the same time, and a lot of questions weren't answered, to be honest. You know, I get they did say, you know, a lot of unanswered questions might be answered when they type it up and stuff like that, and I knew all the questions weren't going to be answered because that's just the way a live AMA works. But at the same time, it was just someone said right here, big fry spawn cams. Wait, did I just see that right? Yeah. Oh, big fry, they're coming at you. Yeah, right there, you will be surprised. A lot of that stuff, it's gonna be huge. It's just the same thing over and over again, and it pisses me off. Like, I get a lot of things are still, you know, quote unquote in discussion or still on the drawing table pretty much, but I felt like they knew what they were getting themselves into. They knew what questions that were going to be coming out, and we never got a full answer to the main questions. So if you guys enjoyed this video, go ahead and leave a like, comment, subscribe, do all that good shit. We'll see what happens in the future, guys, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.